G4 Guitar School Ashford, and welcome. Hello, I'm Bryan Adam from G4 Guitar School Ashford, and welcome to tonight's workshop. In this workshop, we've been looking at learning a few songs from Bryan Adam's Reckless album. It's basically the 30th anniversary as of last week. So it would be nice just to go through a few songs or singles from that record. So tonight we're going to be looking at Run to You, Heaven, and Summer '69. So before we do anything, head over to g4guitarashford.com/bryanadams.pdf, and you'll be able to download the PDF of all the music for the songs I'm going to go over. Obviously, that will help you to see what I'm talking about as I'm going through them. If you watch this live on the Google page, then you'll see a little link there. Also, if you are watching this live on the Google page, if you look at the top of the video, you'll see some squares. If you click on that, open up the chat window, and I think it's a showcase window. If you open up the chat window, you can ask me questions as we're going along, and obviously I'll answer as and when, basically. Right, should we get started? I'll stop waffling. So the first song we're going to look at today is Run to You. So classic track's got a really great little riff. But the first thing you need is a capo. So it's capo on fret 2. And to start with, we're going to just look at the right hand and look at basically the arpeggio pattern. It's just a little riff with a nice little arpeggio, and we're going to start with the E string. And it's E, A, D, the 3 strings. And the only 3 strings we're actually going to play these low 3 strings. So it's E, A, D. And he does that twice. So it's E, A, D, E, A, D, E, A, D, E, A, D. Now, the D string is the last string we're playing, but then we want to come back to the E. So if we're picking all downs, as we play that D string, we're then in a downward motion. So you want to be picking down, down, up, basically. So that last string, the D string, try and pick up, and then that brings you back in the direction towards the next pick for the E string. So it'd be E, A, D, with an up. So it's down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. The last 2 picks are the A and the E string. So it's E, A, D, E, A, D, A, E. So E, A, D, E, A, D, A, E. So down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. So not too bad, and that riff then just keeps going around with a picking hand. But the goal here is to try and get it nice and smooth. And even before we start bringing the left hand to do the actual chord shapes, if we haven't got the arpeggio pattern secure, then it doesn't really matter what we're doing with the other hand. So we want that nice to be even, and then we can start bringing this other hand. So E, A, D, E, A, D, A, E, or down, down, up, down, down, up, up, up. So once you crack that, it's all 8th notes as well, so the rhythm's not too bad. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We'll look at the chords, and we're going to play 2nd fret on the A string. So again, relative to the capo, 2nd fret, and that's the first bar. And then we're going to put our 2nd finger down on the 3rd fret, and just do the first 3 picks, the E, A, and D, and then slide that shape up 2 frets. So our 2nd finger ends up on fret 5, and our 1st finger on fret 4. So 2nd finger down and slide. That's our riff. So it's just a little 2-bar phrase. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's the signature part of the song. So as soon as we get that down, we've actually got most of the tune there. Main thing to focus on is definitely the picking. Make sure we're ending with an up pick on the D string to put us back up to the E to start the next picking. With this hand, try and use the 1st finger in the 2nd fret, 3rd finger in fret 3, and then just slide that shape along. So you look at it basically like an E minor 7 to start with, and then 2nd finger goes down, basically like a G chord, and then just slide that along. So there's the first chord. Not too bad. So basically like an E minor 7 down, 2nd finger, and then sliding up. So that's the main riff, intro or verse. So it goes around a couple times for the intro, and then the verse comes in, and it just repeats the same thing. Then we go into a pre-chorus, which is a C chord. And just quickly go for the C chord, 1st finger on the B string fret 1, 2nd finger on the D string fret 2, and third finger on the A string, fret 3. After this, we're going to do a D chord. So it's 2 bars of C, 2 bars of D. And the D chord is first finger on the G2, second finger on the E2, or skinny string, string 1, and third finger on the B3. Now the rhythm for these 4 bars, we've got 2 bars of C, 2 bars of D, is the same. We're going to go down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So on the C it'll be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 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 that's it for the pre-chorus. So 2 bars of C, 2 bars of D, exactly the same rhythm. The down, down, up, down, up, down, up, or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then we go to the chorus. Now, if you have this PDF open, this is really why I want it, because the rhythm's a bit tricky for the chorus. Obviously, I'll break it down, but if you can see, it's going to make it a lot easier. So again, if you haven't got that yet, go to g4guitarashford.com/bryanadams.pdf and get the music. So yeah, the chorus is a bit more tricky. It goes E minor to G, and then there's D, and there's an A. So we'll quickly go through the chords. E minor, first finger on the A2, second finger on the D2. For the G, the first finger remains on the A2, but the second finger goes up to E3, and the third finger goes to the skinny E3. For the D chord, first finger on the G2, second finger on the E2, and third finger on the B3. So again, hopefully you know those chords. If we don't, I have actually put them all in, again, the PDF. If you look at the last couple of pages, all the chords are there. So you can go and check up on them, make sure you know the shapes. And the last chord is the A chord. First finger goes on the D2, second finger on G2, and third finger E2. Now, I'll go through a few ways of making this a little bit easier as well. For instance, these rhythms I'm going to go through, you could just do one chord. You could just go E, G, D, A. And that could be the chorus. E, G, D, A. So E minor, then G, then D, then A, then E minor, then G, then D, then A. So you could just play those 4 chords with no real rhythm. For those who want a bit more of a challenge, the rhythm is down, mute, G. So that's the first half of the bar. E minor, then mute. So I'm strumming and muting the strings, and then playing G. And the last half of that bar, he strums G again, mutes, and then strums D. So it's G, mute, D. Put that together, you got E minor, mute, G, G, mute, D. So it's quite a difficult rhythm. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So yeah, it's quite tough. So again, you could take away all those mutes, all the extra strums, and just strum E minor, G, D, and A, or E minor, G, D. The next bar it strums D again, mute, A, and strums A 2 further times. So we've got D, mute, A, D, mute, A. So put that all together, the chorus so far is E minor, G, G, D, D, A, E minor, G, G, D, D, A. So yeah, it makes it a little bit tricky. So definitely going to help having the PDF out there. Or say just the one strumming each of those chords, E minor, G, D, and A. So same chords as Goodbye Broken Dreams by Green Day. So kind of 2 chords, 2 songs for one there. So that's the chorus. Again, don't worry if you haven't quite got it down. The PDF says take it away and have a little play around for next few weeks, months, however long it really takes. I just want to break it down and kind of introduce it more than anything else. Right, just going on to the next page now. He goes back around that kind of loop. He's got E minor, mute G, G, mute D, and then lets that D then ring out for a whole bar. So it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. And then that's really the end of the chorus. And the only other part to this song, so we've got the intro / verse, the main kind of picky riff. We've got the pre-chorus, and the B, and the chorus is E minor, G, D, A. Then the last section is the interlude, and he strums an E chord. If you're not sure about the E chord, very much like E minor, just the first finger on the G1. So it's first finger G1, second finger A2, and third finger on the D2. And we strum all 6 strings, letting that ring for 2 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 5. And then D chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then C, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then D again, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then that loops again until we're back to the E. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then D, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and C. So yeah, not a very interesting part this, just letting the chords ring out. There is a little riff over that, but I've again made it a bit simpler. Some of these songs have simplified some of the sections or combined a couple of guitars into one to make it kind of a bit easier to digest. There is a little riff there, so it's quite a nice little riff, but we won't go for that today. I'll kind of let you hunt that out if you want to go over it. So that's pretty much it. At the bottom of the sheet, I've then put the structure. So you'll see it's just those 3 sections. They just keep kind of alternating really. So it's just getting down the right order, and it's working here, going down the first column and then the second column. So we have intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, interlude, chorus. So the intro and the verse are one the same. Just a little riff. Again, it's being really careful, I suppose, the picking and everything else, make sure we're doing the right directions. And then the pre-chorus was the C and D chords with the down, down, up, down, up, down, up rhythm. And the chorus is the E minor, G, D, A. E minor, G, D, A. And then getting ringing out on the end there. And that's it for Run To You. Again, not too bad. It's quite a nice beginner song, really. The riff is a bit tricky in regard to the picking, but if you break it down one hand at a time, you'll find it gets together a lot quicker. The chords themselves are good beginner chords. Just really the rhythm's the only thing that would kind of put me off giving it to a beginner student, because it is an awkward rhythm. But take that away and you just end up with the E minor, G, D, and A. So it's a lot more manageable once you get rid of that rhythm. So that's what I definitely recommend doing. Get rid of the rhythm, just worry about when the chord changes are, and once you master that, it'll be very easy to put the rhythm back in and build it up. So yeah, start building one hand at a time and then gradually build up the strum patterns after that. Right, so that's pretty much it for Run To You. We'll move on now to Heaven, and this is a really good little strummer. And I've written this out a little bit different than I did the previous song. I haven't written down tab bass, I've just put the chord symbols. So again, if you're not too happy with the chords, flick through a few pages and you'll find all the chords written out. The reason I've done this is because you can then bring your own rhythm, you can then kind of just interpret how you like, really. And they're not too bad chords. Again, this is not maybe a beginner song, because we do have a bar chord or half bar chord. We've got the F in there, basically. And there is even a B flat, but we'll look at a few ways of making that a bit easier as well. But it does have C, A minor, G, there's a few nice beginner chords in here. So we'll go through just the intro and the interlude. So again, this one section is 2 parts of the song. We've got a C chord. Now this is the first time we've seen C, it's quite a stretchy one, C. First finger on B1, second finger D2, and third finger on the A3. Then we go to A minor. Great little shortcut here is keeping first and second finger down and just moving the third finger underneath. So that's our first 2 chords, C, A minor, then it goes back to C, and then we have our F. Now F is kind of like C really, we're just dropping down fingers 2 and 3, so second finger's on the second foot of the G, third finger's on the D3, and then we're barring the first finger across the the E and the B. So we're barring the first fret of the E and the B strings. And there's our F chord, only just strumming from the D string for this one, only 4 strings. So we've got C, A minor, C, F. That goes around again, C, A minor, C, and then F. A little bit of a change on the second time through, because up to that point, the chords have been in split bars. So we're doing 2 beats for C, for instance, 2 beats A minor, 2 beats C, and then F. So it'd be like a 1, 2, A minor, 4, C, 2, 3, 4. The second time round, C and A minor stay the same. But then C goes 1, 2, and then F is 1, 2, 3, 4. So second time around, C is based in its own bar. It's in the bar of 2, 4. So it's only the 2 counts, but then F's in its own bar of 4, 4. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just counting to 2 on the C, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the F. So the whole intro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it goes around the C, A minor, and then G. The whole bar, 3, 4, D minor, A minor, B flat, and then G. Again, all split bars there, D minor, A minor, so you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat, 1, 2, and G, 3, 4. So the chords there, C and A minor for the first bar, G for the second, D minor, A minor for the third, and B flat and G for the fourth. Again, hopefully you've got the sheet out, because I know I'm going through this quite quickly. But I really just want to give a few ideas rather than kind of walk through it every bar, you know, in turn. What I want to jump on now is really that B flat. We've already talked about G from the previous song. D minor might be pretty good to go over actually. So first finger goes on the E1, second finger on the G2, and third finger on the B3. So it can be a bit stretchy D minor. And then B flat. Now B flat you could play as a bar chord. So your first finger holds down the first fret, A string down to the E string. Again, first fret relative to capo, pretend capo is now 0, so first fret's the fret after it. And your third finger holds down the D, G, and B strings at fret 3. So it makes for a little bit of an awkward shape. If you haven't done bar chords before, I do have a cheat, so don't worry. But if you have, then it's just a B flat. So fret 1, 5th string, or 5th string root bar chord. Now the cheat is, you can think of it kind of like F, but we're going to just kind of drop our fingers down a little bit. So first finger will go on the E1. Third finger is going to go on the B3, and little finger's go underneath it on the, third finger's go on G3, little finger on the B3. So first finger E1, third finger on the B3, and little finger on the, third finger on the G3, I keep saying B3, and little finger on the B3. So it's kind of like the bar chord, we're just taking the top 3 strings, we're just not doing all 5. And that gets rid of the need to bar because we've got less strings. You can even bring in the second finger if you wanted to and put it on the D string, fret 3, gives it a bit more bass, a bit more oomph. And that's just a nice way of getting away from the bar. So we're just kind of getting rid of the A string basically. So that's a nice little cheat to get us around that B flat, because that is a tough one. Then we go C, A minor again, and then D minor, A minor, B flat, again we can do the cheat, and then to F, or we can do the bar chord to F. Again, you can hear the bar chord's a lot fuller because we're playing more strings, but if you've not done bar chords before, then probably the 3-finger one's definitely the way to go for that. And then it finishes with G, so that's the verse. So again, not too bad, just really watch out for the B flat. They are split bars, but because the tempo is quite slow, you'll find that you won't be pressured to change. It's nice, 2, 3, 4. No, it's nice and slow, you don't feel too rushed. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go into the chorus. So again, the only thing to really watch out there, I suppose, is the B flat. D minor, again, if you're still new to the guitar and some of these kind of open chords, that might be a bit tricky too. Just break it down, 1 strum per chord, and then start building up like I was there, building up to then 2 strums, then bring in some 8th notes, some up strums in between, and just basically building and building. Try and mimic what you're hearing in the song, really. Okay, next thing, chorus. Now the chorus is a bit more interesting. Reason why, because we've actually got 3 chords in a bar. We're going F, G, A minor. So that's quite a quick change. So F, G, A minor. So yes, that's quite fast. So it might take a little bit of practice, that one. So it's just F, G, A minor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then C, 2, and F, 4, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, and then G, 2, 3, 4. So F, G, A minor, C, F, G, A minor, and G. And that's it for the chorus. So the hardest thing now is that quick bar. Trying to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's quite fast. So again, just take it nice and slow. Just build around those changes. Start building up the speed. And the last thing to look at here is the bridge. Now D minor starts us off. And this one, we've still got split bars, but it's not an equal split. So up till now, we've had the first chord on beat 1, the second chord on that bar on beat 3. So you're doing 2 beats on each one. Now the C in this first bar, so we've got D minor C, comes right at the end. So it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it comes in on beat 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then F, 2, 3, 4 for G, and A minor, 2, 3, 4, and then G, 2, 3, 4, D minor, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4. Whew. So again, quick changes there. It's just trying to get that C on the beat 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then F, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2. So it's not too bad, but again, take it slow. Just one strum. You can see I'm kind of embellishing a little bit, putting some extra strums in there. Obviously, feel free to do that once you've got the chord changes. But if you haven't got those chords in the right places, you don't want to start putting the rhythm. Rhythm's really nice on the cake. You've got to have those chords in the right place, basically, before we start doing that. Okay, so that's pretty much it for Heaven. Again, only thing we need to concentrate there, I think, would be some of the chords, the bar chords, basically. F, so make sure that first finger's nice and flat. Try and get those notes nice and clean. A shortcut for that, if you're still new and you're not really sure on the bar chords, is you don't necessarily have to hold down the top E. You can mute that out. You don't necessarily have to bar. So you can have the first finger on the B1, second finger on G2, and third finger on the D3. Just muting out that top E. You've still got your FAC, so you've still got the notes of the F chord. So it'll still sound like F. You will have that muted top E, so try and miss that out if you can, because you will hear it. But it means we can get away from the bar. Again, with the B flat, we just do this 3-finger shape. Again, you can kind of think of like D minor, really. Third finger comes up, little finger takes its place. Or first finger, E1, little finger on the B3, and third finger on the G3. So it's quite a nice little shortcut, that one. Or you've got the big bar chords. You can even do the big bar chord for the F. And by big bar chord, I mean kind of the E string, E roots bar chord. So yeah, they're really the chords to focus on. And then the quick changes. Just quickly go over the chorus again. We've got the F, and then G, A minor. So we've got 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that might take a bit of looping. F, G, A minor. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's a great little strummer. Again, start off nice and simple, one strum, and then build up as you go. Okay, next song we'll look at is Summer 69. It's one of the big ones off this album, and this one gets requested a hell of a lot by students of all ages, actually. I'm always surprised how many people have heard it. Kind of 10-year-olds. I mean, obviously it was come out in sort of, was it 1983? So yeah, it's yeah, a bit of a classic. And there's lots of technique we can look at here. It's one of the ones that's going to probably take the most practice, and that's why I've really left it till last. I knew we'd have enough time to kind of go through it and look a bit in depth. In regards to the chords aren't actually that bad. The main riff is just a D and an A chord, but there's some palm muting, there's quick 8th notes in there, so with the right hand we've got quite a bit to look at. So let's give it a go. So again, we'll start with our D chord. Now I think this has been in most of the songs so far, if not all of them. I suppose D minor was in the other song, sorry, Heaven. It was in Run To though. Just to recap, we've got first finger on the G2, second finger on the E2, and third finger on the B3. Now with this one, you could start off just with one strum. That's why I'd always start off with beginner students, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It basically does D for 2 bars. For the intro, it does 2 bars of D, and then it goes to the verse, which starts with another 2 bars of D. So effectively you're doing D for 4 bars the first time through the song. And then it goes to A for 2 bars. So the intro is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then A, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. That just then loops around for the verse, just 2 bars of D, 2 bars of A. Again, you want to make sure you've got those changes in the right places. So you get it on that first beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure on that 1. Once you are, you can start bringing the rhythm. The rhythm he's actually playing is 8th note based. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. What that means is when we're counting 1, 2, 3 and 4, we're actually strumming twice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we say and in between the counts just so we know when to do that other strum. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so that's the rhythm we want to start building up to. Again, don't worry if this is quite tricky. You can start just with 1 strum for the minute. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then we go to A chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and actually gets a little more tricky than that because he has some accents, which means he's strumming the chords slightly harder in places. And this happens on the 1 and the and of 2. So it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So we want to strum the whole of the D chord for the 1 and the and of 2, but for the rest of the bar we actually just want to strum a couple of strings, just the D and the G. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you can see I'm strumming the whole thing for the 1, then just the 2 strings twice, and then the whole thing again for the and of beat 2. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then the second bar he just does those 2 strings, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and actually sneaks in an A string at the end there. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The only other thing he's doing here, which would be good to touch upon, is the palm muting. So palm muting means you're muting the strings basically with the palm of your hand. It's kind of self-explanatory, but it's a bit tricky because you want to try and get the right part of your hand. It's very easy to think you're palm muting, but you're only actually doing 1 string. You've got to have your hand in the right base of the angle. It's finding the sweet spot as well. You want your hand back, so just before the bridge, but if you go back too far, you're not going to get any muting, so you'll be on the bridge. If you're too far forward, you get too much muting, so you're too far along the string. So it's that sweet spot just where the string meets the bridge. And if we get that, you'll get a nice chuggy kind of sound, classic kind of rock rhythm technique. So that's what we want on there. That's the open sound, or that nice kind of muted chug sound. It might take a little while to get your hand. You can see my hand's slightly turned and my fingers are kind of pointing down towards the floor. I'm not this way, pointing along the neck. That's just so I angle it so I'm covered all 6 strings, so I get a nice even mute. So it might take a little while to get used to the palm muting. And he's palm muting most of the way through the verses. This is something you can experiment with. In the intro, he does it all the way through. So he's doing his accent on the 1 and the 2 and. Apart from that, when he's just doing the D and the G strings, he's doing his palm muting. So he's going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so you can hear the palm muting there and the A string at the end. So put that together, you've got the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now palm muting, again, is one of these ones we can put on later. I'm just kind of saying it now, mainly so I don't forget and so you're aware of it. And you may be happy just to jump on and start doing that. If you're not, then just try and do it later. Again, just refocus on the chord changes and then add these bits in later. Because you can spend quite a while going through them, especially if you've never done them before or you're trying to learn it. And by the time you've got it, you've kind of killed the song because you spent so long working on techniques. So we don't really want to do that. Just 1 strum for a minute and then build up the techniques as you go, basically. Okay, so to recap, the intro is 2 bars of D. And the rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. He then goes to the verse, which is 2 bars of D with the same rhythm and 2 bars of A with the same rhythm. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 so that's quite interesting on here, which you see in a lot of songs, is when he changes back to his D chord, he actually ends with open strings. So the last strum he does on the 4 and, he has open strings, which then gives him time to get to the D chord. If you don't do that, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, it's a real jump trying to get to that D. So you can give yourself a little bit of time just by removing a little bit early, 3 and 4 and 1. And then you can start transitioning with those open strings into the next shape. Makes it a lot easier. And you see that a lot in songs when the changes are quite quick. And you don't really notice it once it's in the mix. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. So those are the open strings. Again, you don't really notice it so fast. So that's a great little tip just to help transition between two shapes. End with an open strum and then use that open strum to give you time to get to the next chord. So that's the verse, just D and A. Watching out for the accents. That's shown in music by a little kind of arrowhead underneath the note. Indicates to accent that one strum or one chord. And the palm muting is shown by PM, meaning palm muting, and then broken line underneath the section which you put the palm muting on, basically. Right, moving on to the chorus. And again, this song has not got too many parts. You'll notice this for all the Bryan Adam songs. They're kind of typical intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus kind of structure. He's only got 3 parts to most songs. And we look at the chorus. Now this does start with a bar chord. We have a B minor. So we have a 5th string bar chord at fret 2. So we're barring our first finger across the 5 strings, A string down. Our third finger is on the 4th fret of the D. Our little finger is on the 4th fret of the G. And our second finger is on the B2. Again, all these chords are on the last page, so have a look there, I'm not too sure. And that's the sound on that B minor. Now, I do have a cheat for this one as well, if you're a bit new to these sort of chords and you've not done your bars yet. Again, they're quite an intermediate chord. What we could do is just take off that bar, so we end up basically in an A minor shape, but then put our first finger on the top E. So we've lost the bar, and then we're just holding down these 4 strings, the D string down, basically. So now our first finger should be on the E1, our second finger on the B2, our third finger on the D4, and our little finger underneath that on the G4. So it's a really good way of kind of simplifying bar chords. If you've got a bar chord shape, and again, we come to a song, that has a bar chord in it, you've not really done bar chords, just take away the bar and put your first finger just on the top E string. And ignore basically the A string, for instance, with an A string bar chord. And a lot easier, obviously, because you haven't got to have that first finger flat. Again, with an E string bar chord, you can do the same. The only problem we have here is we have 2 strings that are held by the first finger, the B and the E. So you may have to do a partial bar, or we could just hold the B string and mute the top E. So basically just remove the bar and mute out any strings that require to hold down 2 and just play one of those. But for B minor, so there's a nice little cheat there. And then we go to an A chord, and then D, and G. And again, A chord we saw in the previous song, so I won't go for that, neither the G. B minor, A, D, and G. It's a whole bar of each, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, B minor, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is a quicker song than the rest. It's quite a fast one. So that's why I'm going to keep saying over and over again, start with 1 strum per bar, then build up the rhythm as you go. The actual rhythm itself, though, just to show what he is doing, he's starting with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's quite a tough rhythm. He's starting off with a dotted note, which means he strums on beat 1 and then strums the up strum on the 2 and. So he's not actually strumming on beat 2, he's strumming just after it. So we have the 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and. Now, an easy way of playing dotted rhythms, all these syncopation kind of rhythms where you're not playing on the beat, you're playing slightly after it, is to not let your hands stop strumming. So 1 and 2 and. So 1 and 2 and. You can see I'm missing the 2, but then striking the up strum in between beats 2 and 3, or the and of beat 2. So 1 and 2 and. If my hand was to stop moving, you'll find I'll lose the beat and it'll feel very awkward trying to strum on that and. So like a 1 and 2 and. You lose the flow. By keeping your hand moving, doing the 8th note kind of pulse, you'll find it be very easy to put that and in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And to make things more interesting, that 2 and is then joined to the 3, which means we don't play the 3, we then play the 3 and. So we're strumming it again on the up, missing out the next down. So it'll be down, up, miss, up. Or to count now, make it a bit easier to see what I'm doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now this is quite an important thing to go over because all of these bars start 1 and 2 and. So we want to get used to that up on the 2 and. So that whole bar now is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the fourth beat is just a down and up, so that's not too bad. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the B minor. The A starts 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Doesn't have an up on the and of beat 4. Just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The D, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So that's quite nice. He does miss out that other awkward strum on the 3 and. He doesn't play it. It's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So he's playing on the 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. G is the same rhythm as the D chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So just go through that again. We have the B minor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A and 2 and 3 and 4. Then to D and 2 and 3 and 4. To the G and 2 and 3 and 4. That then is repeated a bit more speed. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Whew. Now I think I did actually strum that G wrong there because it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I did the and on the 3, which is actually there. To be honest, it doesn't really matter if you do that. You could just do the B minor rhythm all the way through if you wanted to. It won't sound wrong. Again, there's a few guitar parts that are interplaying throughout the tune, so it doesn't really matter. It's good for rhythm reading though, so I would say try and play what's there. It's going to be great for building up this kind of idea of missing notes and strumming on the beat and off the beat. So it'd be good practice. Right, so we do that section twice, the B minor, A, D, and G. And then we finish with the B minor again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And just play the A for a whole note. So we're letting that ring for the whole bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So we just play the chorus really quickly all the way through. So we have B minor, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we have it. There's the chorus. So we should move on. And the next section to look at is a nice little interlude. Now, this interlude is actually just the D and the A chords, which was basically the verse. Just 2 bars of D, 2 bars of A. But there's something new here that he puts on there, which is like basically a little riff using the sus chords. It's a really nice thing to look at for the susses. It's a really nice concept as well. Leads us to talk about how to really use suspended or sus chords. So we'll do that in a minute. Just let's introduce what the actual chords are first. So we have the D chord, and he basically is just playing different notes along this top E string. So you're starting off with an open top E, and he's got this little arpeggio thing of just moving along. So with the right hand, we're just going E, B, G, E, B, G, E, B, G. So if you can get used to that E, B, G first, again, focus on one hand, isolation, just the right hand, get used to just playing those 3 strings. It starts there on the E string, just 0, 2, 3, 2, 0. Put the chord on that, 0, 2, 3, 2, 0. Now the chord on, to play that shape, you want to be using obviously just open string. Second finger then comes on for your D chord. And then to do your sus4, we're going to put little finger on the B3. Oh, sorry, E3. So open is a sus2. Then with second finger down brings us to a normal D shape. And then little finger on the 3rd fret of the E string gives us our sus4. So we have 2 different sus chords there, sus2 and sus4. Sus2 is an open string, and sus4 is the little finger down, basically. So we're just walking up that E string, 0, 2, 3, 2, 0. And it goes back to that 2 again. There's no G or B in between there, it's just 0, 2. So we have a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And on the and of 4, he plays the open A string, which then takes him into the next chord he plays, which is an A chord. So just one more time, we've got the D sus2, D, D sus4, D, D sus2, D, A. Bring up speed, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Up to speed, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again, it is quick. But you could get away, again, for the beginner student, is just strumming the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Forget all that shenanigans. Just playing just a couple of strums on each of the chords is fine. And then you can start building those chords. You can just take the first part, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So just bring it in gradually. So not try and do all 2 bars, just try and do maybe 1 bar, half of 1 bar. And then just build up, build up. Okay, the next bar is an A chord, and he does the same embellishments there. He starts with an A sus2, A sus, sorry, an A, then an A sus4, and then back to the A. So it's that same kind of walk along the string, but this time it's the B string. So we're going 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 2, and then D string to end. So very, very similar. We've got A chord this time now, we've got the open B string. We've got the same picking, but now starting from the B string. So we have B, G, D, B, G, D with the right hand, B, G, D. So it starts with a 0 on the B, 2nd fret on the B, 3rd fret on the B, 2nd fret on the B, 0, and then 2nd fret on the B. So you can see the only change that's happening here, the variation, is only on the B string. Once you have your chord, the other things are staying stationary. It's just that one finger that's going to move. Oh, hello. D string was supposed to go in there. I missed it. Yeah, I won't miss that again. So that is that part. Again, it's the most filliest one, really. There's a lot of movement going on. It's a nice section. So put that together, we've got the D. Then goes to the A. So it does sound nice. And I'll say that it's a great example of how to use sus chords. Sus chords are great chords to use to decorate chords, basically. So what I mean by that is if you've got 2 bars like we have here, a D chord, it's really nice to play a sus2 or sus4 just to make that a bit more interesting, that 2 bars of D. So rather than going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see it creates quite a nice little melodic pattern. So that's a really nice thing to do. Once you've got your open chords, your open triads, start looking at your sus chords. For instance, like C, C sus4, C sus2, F sus2, sus4, E, and then an E sus4. So they work really well, these sus chords. It's just, say, learning the shapes. And in a little while, we'll do a webinar, on sus chords and ways to kind of extend your normal triads, your basic major and minor chords. So just to recap that section, we have a D sus2, D, 4, D, D sus2, D, A sus2, A sus4, A sus2, and then back to the A. So again, it's just that movement on the 1 string. On the D chord, just the E string that you're changing. On the A chord, just the A string, so 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 2, and it's the same numbers on both of the chords. 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 2. So that's a nice, nice part there. That's the interlude. That's quite fun to play. And then we're going to hit the bridge, last section. And it starts with an F bar chord. Now, the F chords we've done up to now have been the partial bars or the half bar chords. This one we are going to look at playing the bass notes. Now, you don't have to play a full bar chord here. He doesn't actually. He just plays the low kind of 4 strings up to the G string. So we want our first finger on the E1, we want our third finger on the A3, little finger underneath it on the D3, and second finger on the G2. Excuse me. So we're just strumming those 4 strings. So that's it. And we're going to drop that shape down. So that's our first chord, F, to a B flat. Now we did B flat in Heaven, I think it was. Run to You. It was Run to You, wasn't it? B flat. And this one is our first finger flat across the A string down, and our third finger just across the D, G, and B at the 3rd fret. So our first finger is high down all the strings of fret 1. So 5th string to string 1, missing out actually 6th string. Just 5th string down, and our third finger is across the D, G, and B. So a B flat chord. We're then going to move that shape up to the 3rd fret to get C chord. So both the same. So we've got B flat fret 1, C at fret 3. It's just trying to keep these fingers barred. Again, I'll show you a little cheat in a minute. But so far I've got the F chord, B flat, C. Now next chord he does is a B flat with a D in the bass. So we're going to drop our first finger down to hold the D, G and B strings at fret 3, and lift our third finger up on the A string fret 5. And just strum those strings. So again, our first finger is holding down the 3rd fret on the D, G and B, and our third finger is on the A string fret 5. So put that together, we have the F, B flat, C, B flat slash D. So again, one of the hardest parts in these 3 songs actually is this bridge, because it's using these bar chords. Now I did say there's a little cheat we could use, so let's go through that one again with the F. It's not really a bar chord, so I don't know if we need to cheat here, but we could just play the normal F chord. We could even use power chords. That's probably the way I'd say to do it, because the power chords give you a bit more bass. They sound a bit fuller than maybe some of the other chords I'd maybe substitute as well. So if we look at the power chords, where it's actually using 2 fingers, first finger on the E1, third finger on the A3, and you just drop that shape down. So you're on the A string fret 1, D string fret 3 for your B flat chord, and slide it up 2 frets for your C, and then just swing your fingers around for your D slash B flat slash D, sorry. Cracky. Now so with the F, drop down for B flat, long for C, and swing your fingers around. And you hear the rhythm I'm doing is all 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2. The actual rhythm he does is very much like the rhythm we did in the chorus. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Well, actually, it's a little bit easier because it's just a 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. It's the same for those 3 chords for the F. B flat to the C. And then for the B flat slash D, he goes 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So that's a little bit different, that one. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So it's coming on the and the beat 1 and the and the beat 2. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And then some beats 3 and 4. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. To put that together, we have a 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. With the power chord version, we kind of simplified 2-finger approach. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Again, it is simplified and it does lose a bit of that power because we've obviously lost a few notes, obviously from the bass. But it will work and it won't sound too bad. It will work quite nicely in the power chord approach. So that's the first time through. Second time through, he does the F, like before. He does a B flat like before. And he does the C for 2 bars. And that's it. The rhythm for the C section starts the same. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Change a little bit in that second bar. It plays on the and of beat 1 and then 3 and 4. So it's 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So we put that bridge together. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Round again. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Again, I'll do the exact rhythm, but as long as you're playing something that's similar, that will work really well. Don't think you have to, exact. It will still sound fine. Well, that's pretty much it for Summer 69. Again, the structure's on the bottom there, so you can see how it all fits together. It is just those few parts, so it's not too bad. Well, I say. There's a few tricky sections there to have a little bash around. So what we'll do is we'll just quickly have a recap through all 3 of the songs now. I just really want to highlight the things that probably need the most practice. One thing I have noticed is I've played through all these songs. I have left the capo on. Run 2 is the only song that does use a capo. Obviously, you just need to take it off and bring everything back. Simple as that. Run to you could play without the capo. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to play along with the song. So if you want to play along with music, you need the capo for run to you. The other ones do not. So I'll play them now as they are in the original key. So run to you. Main thing here was the arpeggio pattern, picking down, down. So down on E, down on A, up on D. That repeats twice, and then up on the A, up on the E. So if it's down, down, up, down, down, up, up, up. The chords with one finger. And second finger goes down on the third fret of the E. And you slide it up. So you're on the fifth fret of the E, fourth fret on the A. So it's really picking there to focus on. Make sure you're finishing with an up on the D string to bring you back up to the E to make it easier to then repeat that pattern. The C, 2 bars to the D. Just watch out for that rhythm. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. And then for the chorus, the main thing here again was the rhythm. We can simplify that just by going E, G, D, A. And ignoring the rhythm. If you want the rhythm, it is 1. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. But again, that's the tricky thing to work on there. Work through that rhythm very slowly and just building it up. The next section was the interlude. Again, this is not too bad at all. Just letting those chords ring out for 2 bars. I do find those students do tend to struggle when they do have a lot of space. Even though there's only 1 chord there for those 2 bars, it's easy to get complacent and miss when you're trying to come in again to such a big gap. So make sure you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So make sure you're basically counting through is what I'm trying to say, so you don't lose your place. Again, use the structure at the bottom there just to put all the parts together. Next up, Heaven. The main thing here to watch out for is in the intro. We're watching out for the 2/4 bar. When we got C, 1, 2, and F, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, watch out for your 2/4 bar there. D minor is one of the new chords here, one of maybe stretchier chords. B flat was the first bar chord we looked at today. And again, remembering the cheat for that one. If you're not too happy with bar chords, first finger play E1. We could put our third finger on the G3, and little finger on D on the B3. And that's quite a nice cheat for the B flat, so that works quite well. And then that was pretty much it. All the other chords weren't too bad. Again, F, yeah, there's another kind of half bar chord there. You could, rather than bar the E and the B at fret 1, you could bring that first finger up and just play the B string at fret 1 and mute with the underside of that first finger. Just touch the top E string and that'll mute it. And then that gets rid of the bar. You just hone down the G. No, I was right, D, G, and B. So yeah, just hone down the D, G, and B. So yes, that was not too bad. The chorus though changed F, G, A minor. So it's quite quick. But yeah, not too bad. And then we move to the last song, Song 69. A lot of things to work on here. Big regards to rhythm, accenting on the 1 and 2 and. So on the 1 and the 2 and. 1 and 2 and then trying to palm mute in between, so getting that palm just where the strings meet the bridge and trying to get a nice chuggy kind of sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and using the open strings to allow you time to maneuver to the other shape. A very good technique to use in rhythm guitar playing. Use open strings on that last and to give yourself time to transition. And on the chorus, we have the nice rhythms, the dotted notes. The trick here was to keep that hand moving, don't stop. So 1 and 2 and, rather than 1 and 2 and. So you find you have to jump back into the rhythm and it makes it feel really forced. So you want that 1 and 2 and. So just quickly go for that, we have the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A and 2 and 3 and 4. D and 2 and 3, 4, G and 2 and 3, 4. So again, not too bad, just watching out for that and of the 1 and 2 and. But if you keep your hand moving, kind of like a pendulum, so 1 and 2 and, that will really help. So really focus on that. Interlude was just walking on that E string, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2. That's it. If you just look at that top E, you're just keeping the rest of that chord in position. So it's not too bad or anything like that. Then it moves on to the A string, taking off the third finger, for the open B. And the same things, 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 2. So not too bad. Up to speed, it does get a little bit fiddly. But a great little riff. And then the bridge, the last kind of thing we looked at, which was the F chord, going to B flat, C, then this B flat and the D in the bass, a bit of a kind of Philly shape, that one. And then that loops around again, but doesn't do the B flat and the D in the bass, does a C instead. And the rhythm was very similar to the chorus, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And we could then just do power chords instead of the bar chords, or this kind of F shape here, just using 2 fingers, so the E and the A string. So first finger on the E fret 1, third finger on the A fret 3. And then you're just playing those 2 strings and just dropping down, so on the A and the D, and slide along to fret 3, on the A, fret 5 and the D, and just switch those fingers. So your first finger goes down to the D, your third finger's up to the A, and you have the B flat / D. So power chords work really well, really a lot easier obviously than bar chords. Okay, so there we go. Run to You, Heaven, and Summer 69. So 3 classic tracks from the Reckless album. Again, there's quite a few more on there which are quite fun to play. Kids Wanna Rock and Somebody's got a great little riff and whatnot. But yeah, the 3 kind of big ones. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully there's a few kind of songs there to play around with. Again, if you haven't yet, download the sheet music at g4guitarashford.com/bryanadams.pdf. Then you'll see exactly what I've been going through tonight. You'll need it because I did go through it quite quickly. Any questions, let me know. There should be a contact on that page, or you can get through to me at paul@guitarlessonsashford.co.uk. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. I don't think I've got any questions come through from anyone watching tonight, so hopefully that has all made sense. He says, let me just quickly check actually, make sure there isn't any questions. Perfect, there isn't. So yeah, so hopefully we know a few good Bryan Adam songs. Perfect. Right, thanks for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you on another workshop later. Cheers.